our weekly lunchbox. Welcome to our weekly lunchbox with our topic entitled self-respect. We have covered a lot of points in the previous parts of this topic. When we started, we covered, we asked a question: what is self-respect? And we saw that self-respect is loving yourself and treating yourself with care. It is a result of staying true to your values and not being willing to compromise. The more you engage in behaviors consistent with your beliefs and values, the more you will feel fulfilled and confident. So we saw in the previous parts of this topic that self-respect, it has to do with your self-care. How much do you care about yourself? How much do you treat yourself? And then we also saw that we are talking about self-respect, it is you or me who decide in themselves that I am going to stay true to my values and I'm not willing to compromise. Most of the times we suffer just because we want to compromise. And most of the times we compromise on the things that we should not have compromised. Sometimes we compromise just because we want some people to be happy. Sometimes we compromise just because we want to gain something from someone else. And then we suffer a lot in life just because we were willing to compromise. Remember, in the area that you are willing to compromise today, in that same area, tomorrow you shall be asking to compromise. If you are compromising for the sake of gaining something today, tomorrow when the same people who saw you compromise, when they want you to compromise again, will you or are you going to be willing to compromise? So self-respect, brothers and sisters, it is something that we do away with compromisation. So you stay true to your values. You stay true to what you believe. You stay true to everything that you have considered or that you consider that these things are the things that makes me to become who I am. These things are the things that I value, that I uphold in my life. I want to welcome you, those who are joining us. I want to welcome you, Shalom team, which can be easy. Welcome. Kindly, please share the broadcast with your contacts. Share on your Facebook. Share on your WhatsApp status. Encourage people to join. This is rich. What we are talking about here, what we are learning here, this is rich. This has to do with me. This is a teaching that looks in me. Who am I? Where am I going? What must I do and what must I not do? So it looks into me. Who am I? I would really love if we can get so many people to just come in and join together with us so that we learn together. We're talking about self-respect. It is a self-respect. Stay true to your values. Stay true to what you believe. Remember, the more that you engage in your behaviors with your beliefs and values, is the more that you are going to feel fulfilled and confident. Sometimes in life we do not feel fulfilled with the things that we are doing. We don't feel fulfilled in the places that we are in, because sometimes we do not engage ourselves consistently in our behaviors that we are not willing to compromise. When your behavior is great, when your behavior is good for you, when you say, I love this behavior, I love this character of me, or I love this part of me, and I am not willing to compromise, it's easy for you and I to be fulfilled with everything that we are doing in this life. So, brothers and sisters, I want to encourage you again in this morning, and I want to challenge us that in everything that we do in this life, let us do everything in understanding Let us do everything in giving value to that which we uphold most. Let us do everything in this life in appreciating our values and in staying true to our values. And as we stay true to our values, the people who are around us, they will start to respect us back, because they will say, this man respect himself and this woman respect himself, therefore they deserve respect. You know, sometimes we do not have respect in our societies. We do not have respect in our communities, not because that we are living in a community of wicked people or we are surrounded with people who do not appreciate. No, it's not always the case. Sometimes it is just because that self-respect that I have to engage myself with, or that truthfulness to my values, it's lacking. When the truthfulness to your values is lacking, therefore people will see that you are not a person whom we think or whom we assume that you are. So therefore you lose respect. And you can easily lose your respect in your family. You can easily lose your respect in your church. You can easily lose respect at your workplace. You can even lose respect in your marriage when you do not stay true to your values. When you become a man, when you become a woman who desires to compromise on everything, you lose value. Let me put it in that way. You start to lose value. And when you start to lose value, there is no one who would want to respect you. So therefore, self-respect, brothers and sisters, I want to welcome you again, Sister Isabel Marifode. I want to welcome you, Pastor Caroline. I want to welcome you all. Please just share this broadcast, put it on your WhatsApp status, put it on your Facebook, share with everyone. Let's try to educate as many people as we can. Let us try to call our people to come and hear a life-giving teaching. Let us call our people to just come and embrace a life-giving teaching. So, brothers and sisters, I am saying again to us that self-respect, it is when we stay true to our values. It is when I stay true to my value. And then when I stay true to my value, I'll have the respect that I deserve. I will have respect that I deserve. Respecting yourself also prevents you, we mentioned this, that respecting yourself also prevents you from becoming a person who compare himself or herself with others. I'm not saying looking and admiring what others are doing or having is bad. No. But we have got some people who want to compare themselves and judge themselves harshly just because they compare themselves with others. And at the end of the day, they do not receive themselves. They do not honor themselves. They judge themselves so harshly because after they have made a comparison with others, they feel like they are useless. They feel like they are nothing. They feel like they cannot achieve anything. That's how they feel. And it's so sad that sometimes we are in a position like that. So self-respect, brothers and sisters, it prevents you, it prevents me from coming to that position where we would say, we are comparing ourselves with others. Oh, I am comparing myself with others, because the danger of comparing yourself with others is you end up running a race that is not yours. You end up running a race that is not yours. And I would want us to live and to run the race that is mine. Every person, every human being, they have the race that they are given according to their abilities by God that they are running. Whether we like it or not, we have a race that we should be running, that we are given by God. My race is not your race. My race is only, and it can only be run effectively by me. your race, you are the best candidate. So therefore, that's why I am saying that if we are not careful, we end up comparing ourselves with others. And when we compare ourselves with others, the danger of comparing ourselves with others will end in a result that will judge ourselves harshly, to the point that after we have judged ourselves harshly, we think, or we start to believe that we are useless. We cannot, we are not useful at all. Yet that is a lie. And that is a very, very biggest lie that one can live with. So stop comparing yourself with others. You are you. You are unique. You are just designed for your race. Continue to run the race that is set before you. Continue to pursue that which is set before you. And I promise you, you will be successful and you will be happy. So again, I am saying to us that respect yourself in such a way that you don't compare yourself with others. Yes, you can admire the success of others. You can admire the achievement of others. There is nothing bad about that because you are inspired by others. And we do not want to deny the fact that every person in this walk of life, we have got some people that we look at. And as we have these people that we look at, we admire, and they inspire us. They inspire us to do more. But remember that in any inspiration, you are inspired not to run their race. You are inspired to run your race. So become that person who are inspired. As you are inspired, continue with your own race. Run your own race. And then when you run your own race, you will have got the results that are so pleasing. And your life will be fulfilled. And my life will also be fulfilled. Now, again, we said that when we have low self-respect, we tend to engage in more social comparison. You know, when your self-respect is low, you start to have low self-comparison, which makes us feel worse, which makes us feel like we are nothing, which makes us feel like we are not capable, which makes us feel like we cannot do. And this is that very, very dangerous place to be in life. You are unique. You are the designer's original. God has created you in that way because you are unique. God has created you in that way because you are the designer's original, set for a race that he or she is running. And the race that you and I are running are two different races. So never come to a place of comparison where you compare yourself. As I have said before, these things of comparing yourself with others, you will judge yourself harshly. It's either you are going to become jealous, it's either you are going to become envy, it's either you are going to become angry. And all these things are not healthy to your life. All these things, jealousy, anger, hatred, are not healthy to your life. But if you are not careful, these things are born from becoming a person who compare his life or her life with others. I compare myself with others so that I can have what they have. No, you can't have what I have. What I have has to do with my abilities. What you have has to do with your abilities. I'm not saying do not get more. No, go and get more according to the abilities that you are given by God, according to that which God has placed inside of you. Go and get more, but don't get more in comparison. Don't compare yourself with, if I have a car and you say you want to have a car. What if your financial status does not permit you to have a car. So we have got some people in society who judge themselves so harshly because they compare themselves with others, which is not right. It is not right at all. And again, I repeat this to us, that brothers and sisters, do not compare yourself with others. We are different. We have got different purposes on this face of the earth. I have my purposes, you have your purposes. And then the purposes, my purpose is not your purpose. Your purpose is not his purpose or her purpose. We have different purposes on the face of the earth. That's why we are different. And that's why even our fingerprints are different, because our purposes are different. So again, remember, self-respect is a form of self-care. Self-respect is a form of self-care. Now, brothers and sisters, as we move on, when someone has self-respect, they have accepted, in other words, they have accepted themselves and believe that they are deserving of belonging. Let me repeat this again for us. When someone or when you have self-respect, you have accepted yourself and you believe that you're deserving of the belongings that belongs to you. So whatsoever belongs to you, whatsoever belongs to me, you deserve it because you have self-respect in you. In other words, the sense of belonging starts to increase. The sense of self-belonging or the sense of belonging starts to increase in your life when you have self-respect. When I have self-respect, I start to accept myself that I belong. You start to accept yourself that you belong. And the sense of belonging starts to increase. You know, we have got some people who do not have any sense of belonging at all. If you want to try to check to them the way that they are doing, whether it shows that they belong to a particular group or not, these are the people who always, you think you are together. Wait until they start to give you excuses. These are the people who gives you excuses of anything. These people, they do not have any sense of belonging. When you have any sense, or when you have sense of belonging, you in that regard, you start to participate in everything that you are required of to participate. So we have got some people who have lost their sense of belonging to the point that whatsoever that you want to build with them, they give you an excuse. Now, self-respect, my friends, self-respect, it takes you to that place where you start to have the sense of self-belonging, where you know and it is within you and you are convinced, 100% you are convinced, totally convinced that you belong. You see now. Now, if you do not have self-respect, you are not convinced that you belong. And if any person who do not have any sense of belong, when you have sense of belong, it comes along with taking responsibility. We have got some people who have lost sense of responsibility, who have lost a sense of belonging, to the point that today, whatsoever that we ask them to do, they are not responsible. So self-respect puts you to that place that you become a man, you become a woman who have or who takes over the responsibilities and say to himself and say to herself, these responsibilities, they belong to me. And I have to make sure that I sit or I stand and make sure that I make these things successful. Just because I know that there is so much sense of belonging in me, therefore it is easier for me to take responsibilities. Each time that you find yourself running away from responsibilities, try to understand or try to know or try to check your sense of belonging. You know, when you are taking responsibilities, either you taking responsibilities fully because of your capacity, or you taking responsibility little by little also because of your capacity. And all these things are tied around from the sense of belonging. If there is no sense of belonging at all, you don't take any responsibility of anything. You run away from all the responsibilities that you are given. You run away from everything that needs to be done. You don't participate. You participate just because someone has pushed you. Now, when you have sense of belonging, for example, the house that you stay right now, whether it is yours or that apartment, it is yours or rented out one or borrowed from a friend. The reason why at the end of the month you fear, if you do not have money to pay the renters, you start to panic, you start to get uneasy. It is because you have sense of belonging inside of you. So the sense of belonging that tells you and I that I stay there. This is the place where after I have done my work, after I have done my deals, this is the place where I go. And this is the place where I sit and eat. This is the place where I lie down and rest. This is the place where I wash my body. This is the place where I operate from. That sense of belonging gives you the responsibility or sense of responsibility to say, let me contribute something towards renters, or let me pay my renters. The day that the sense of belonging dies inside of you, then you cease from paying your rents. The reason why you are paying your rents, it is because you have so much sense of belonging, which brings responsibility into our lives. So as I have said, that when you fulfill responsibilities, it's not always that we fulfill responsibilities fully, because it also is tied around our abilities. How much can I afford? How much do I have? Therefore, I contribute. So again, I am saying to us, brothers and sisters, this morning, on this weekly lunchbox that we are unpacking. This is a weekly lunchbox that we are unpacking. So I am saying to us that every person who lacks sense of belonging, they do not participate in anything. They don't carry any responsibility. What makes you to buy groceries and go and give your parents? It is a high sense of belonging. I belong to this family. I am a child of this mother. I am a child of this father. Therefore, whatsoever that I work, even if it's not enough for me, there have to be a portion that I set aside. And then I set off and say, Baba, take this, eat. Papa, take this and eat. The sense of belonging. But when the sense of belonging ceases, when the sense of belonging die inside of you and inside of me, you will not do these things. You will not have responsibility. And you will say, is it my responsibility? So sense of belonging, brothers and sisters, we need to have sense of belonging. The sense of belonging takes us or bring us to a place where we take responsibility fully. Sense of belonging. So when sense of belonging is there, responsibility responsibility is birth. Sense of belonging must be there. Sense of belonging must be there in our lives, so that we take responsibility. Otherwise, lacking or not taking responsibility, it is because we lack we lack sense of belonging. So we take responsibility just because we belong. I take responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible of my children because they belong to me. I am responsible of my wife because she belongs to me. So you see, sense of belonging brings responsibility. It brings responsibility. So with failure to have sense of belonging, then responsibility is not shown. There will be no responsibility from us. Though we won't find responsibility. So I'm saying again to us in closing, my friends, I'm saying again to us that you and I need to have high sense of belonging. When we have high sense of belonging, then the responsibility follows. We always argue, we always strive, we always fight with some people that we say, this one, he is not even responsible of anything, because the sense of belonging is lacking. What is really lacking, what we see outside that we're talking that he is not responsible, it's because the sense of belonging. Do you know that even your own property, like most of us, we have got children who go to school. If he does not have that sense of belonging that tells him that this jersey belongs to me, you buy him a jersey in a cold winter, give him a jersey to go to school. When he comes back home, he does not have that jersey, he has lost it. Because in him, he did not apply sense of belonging. Where are my belongings? Where is my property? It's not found in them. So for him to be responsible or to take a responsibility of the clothes that he goes with to school lacks. And then when they come home, we start to argue with our small little ones. So it is a sense of responsibility. It is a sense of belonging, brothers and sisters. If you don't belong, you are not responsible. I am responsible to where I belong. You are responsible to where you belong. So when we belong, then we are responsible. We have to be responsible. When this car belongs to me, I am responsible to this car. When this house belongs to me, I am responsible for this house. When this village belongs to me, I am responsible for this village. So again, I'm saying that when we have self-respect, then self-care starts to grow inside of us. And when we come across, or when we have matured enough, we can mature, I can mature, you can mature to a place where self-respect has accepted you to believe that you deserve it and belong. So it makes you to believe, it makes you to know, it makes you to understand that you belong here. It makes you to understand that these things, they are yours. So sense of belonging must grow inside of us, so that we become people who are responsible. We've got so many people around the world today who do not take any, or who do not want to be responsible of anything or of their actions. It is because many people have lost sense of belonging. If you belong to a community, take responsibility of your community. If you belong to a family, take responsibility of your family. If you belong to a country, take responsibility. Be responsible So which means that what needs to be done, you don't wait for others to do it for you. Become the first person to do. Let others find you doing. Let others find you already in it because you belong. So it is self-belonging. So we can see the level of your self-belonging or sense of belonging with your responsibility or your reaction towards what is needed. Tells us that indeed there is maturity in sense of belonging, or there is lack of maturity in sense of belonging. So, brothers and sisters, in closing, you and I should come to that level in life where sense of belonging has grown high, where sense of belonging is developed, where sense of belonging is matured. We need to become those people. I need to become that person. And when we become this kind of people, then at the end of the day, whatsoever that needs to be done, we don't wait for people. You know, it's very, very difficult if you have got a child that you always, or that always wait for you to tell them what needs to be done, what needs to be picked up from the floor, where to pick what they throw at the floor. It drains the energy of the parent when you have got such people around you, where everything you have to continue to come to them and tell them, do it in this way, go in this way. You know, when you are in that position, I am telling you, life is very difficult when you are surrounded by people who do not have sense of belonging. Because people who do not have sense of belonging, they do not participate in anything. So sometimes you find you are surrounded by so-called friends. Sometimes we have them. And you think that you belong to that circle of so-called friends. But when things need to be done, your so-called friends are not there to help you to get things done. So in other words, you were not belonging to that community, or your friends were not belonging to you. You thought that they are with you. They belong to you. No. So we need to become a people. I need to become a person with a high sense of belonging, because it is the high sense of belonging that caused me to be responsible of the things that are happening around me, to become responsible of my family, to become responsible of my children, to become responsible of my community, to become responsible of my church, to become responsible of my company, to become responsible of my organization. We've got so many people who just go to a company just because they want a salary. The sense of belonging to that company is not in there. And when you have employed some people who do not have sense of belonging, you are in trouble. Because what they want is what you are giving them at the end of the week, or at the end of the day, or at the end of the month. That's what they want. So when we are taking or talking about the responsibilities, you always suffer, because nobody wants to take and wants to be responsible of other things that are happening at the workplace, except the money that is coming in their pocket. So whatsoever we sit with our employees, let us encourage and motivate them to have sense of belonging. You as an employer, cause them to understand that they belong here. Let them develop a sense of belonging inside of them. When you fail to develop sense of belonging inside of them, your company will not give you what you are looking for. It will not give you, because everybody who is there to take. They are not there to contribute. They are not there to do things that they are told, or they are just there to do things that they are told to do. Things that they are not yet told to do, they don't do. Have you seen some people who speak like that, who say, no, 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 no. You want me to do these things. I am not employed for that. So what are you employed for? No, 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 no. That is not my department. Lack of self-belonging, lack of responsibility. They wouldn't want to be responsible of anything else rather than the things that you told them that they should be doing. All other things they don't want because they do not have sense of belonging. Sense of belonging, brothers and sisters, it is very important. You need to have sense of belonging. I need to have sense of belonging. It is sense of belonging that caused me to do extra and to go extra mile. If I do not have sense of belonging, then I don't go extra mile. So again, I want to encourage us. Again, I want to encourage you, my brother and my sister. Again, I want to emphasize this point, that if you need anything, if you want to be fulfilled in life, have sense of belonging. When sense of belonging dies inside of you, or when you lack sense of belonging, you don't take responsibility. And when you don't take responsibility, you are not fulfilled. You are not satisfied with what you are doing in this life. So if you want to be fulfilled, if you want to be satisfied, have that sense of belonging. Make sure that you tell yourself that I belong here. This is mine. You know, have you ever seen your children, or heard your children saying to their friends, come to my house? They don't say, come to my father's house, or to my mother's house, or to my parents' house. No. They say, come to my house. Do you know why they say, come to my house? They say, come to my house because there is high sense of belonging, that's where I belong. That's what they are just telling us. That's what they are telling their friends. That's where I belong. So don't tell me that you cannot come. As long as I am there, because I belong there, I'm calling you, come to my house. High sense of belonging. So everywhere where we are, whatsoever that we do, let us have high sense of belonging. It is enough for this week. With this weekly lunchbox, I want to thank you so much for sharing. I want to thank you so much as you continue to share this broadcast, especially sense of belonging. It is very, very important to have self-belonging. So brothers and sisters, I'll meet you again next week around this time, or this same channel, or channels, Facebook and YouTube. I'll meet you again. We'll talk more about sense of belonging. I salute you. Thank you so much for connecting with me today. I salute you. I salute you. I salute you. I salute you. I salute you.